go live with my other phone, but I have this prepaid phone that I use for when I give people my peer counseling sessions. And that phone is good for about 3 days of internet. And after about 3 days, the data runs out. That plan is like a $35 a month plan. And I think it's 35. I can't remember if it's 25 or 35, but basically they say for $10 more you can get unlimited data. The reason I haven't gotten unlimited data is because I have unlimited data on this phone, and the data runs out on this phone also. And I'm like, what does unlimited data mean? If on this next phone. So I think basically what I do is I'm gonna look for I don't know, a different phone provider, because I'm doing something that doesn't make sense, which is to have two phones on two different providers. And I'm just gonna maybe get one of those deals that gives you a new phone and then put the two phones on one plan, pay for both of them, and call it a day. So the thing that they offer, but the data is limited. So I don't think is there a plan that exists that unlimited data means unlimited data? I don't know. A lot of things to do today in a very limited amount of time. So I decided to hop on this live on my way from doing one thing, going to the next thing. Hi, Ma. So, I do have unlimited data. That's the funny thing. My plan I pay for is unlimited data. That's the funny thing of it all. But anyways, the topic that I was planning to come on here and talk about is the next run. I want to say that this is the third day of this running program. And last September, I was very invested in a run program that I participated in for 5 weeks leading up to my birthday. And I did this race that I had previously done 6 times. And I did the best time that I've ever done out of the 6 times. And it was because of all that running that I did. When that race was over, my toe was incredibly sore, high toricity. So I went to a podiatrist. The podiatrist diagnosed me with, I don't know how to say this, hallux rigidus, I think it's called. Probably butchering the name, but hallux rigidus, I believe, is the name, which is actually a combination of an injury but also like a birth defect. So he said people with that particular injury, the range of motion in their toe is not what it should be. And he showed me like how much my left big toe was able to move up and down, and he showed me the limits of how much my right big toe was able to move up and down. And he said, this is something that you're gonna have for life unless you do surgery. And I looked up the surgical options. I'm not a fan of surgery, nor was I a fan of the options. So I have not done that yet, but it might come to that point. It might come to that point of me having to do surgery. But anyways, my point of that is I started running again after taking November, December, January, about 3 months off. About 3 months I didn't run at all. So reset versus restart. Now, I'm going to put two things together. I'm going to tie two different examples together. I remember when I first started going to therapy, I was getting major panic attacks every single day, several times a day, to the point where I was not leaving my room. I was not leaving my bedroom. Life was just too much for me at that point in time. And I didn't really know the nature of what panic attacks are and how to resolve them. So that was a big part of my issue too. And then through a lot of work that I've talked about before, gradual exposure therapy, I got myself out of that place with the help of my therapy and at the time my medications and, I guess family support you could throw in there too. And I remember one day my therapist was talking to me and telling me, she was like, I'm so proud of you and I'm so proud that you've recovered. I'm so proud of how far you've come. And I was like, thank you. And she was like, that thank you doesn't really sound like you feel proud of yourself. Or like, you don't sound like you feel the enthusiasm of all the work that you've put in and where you've come to this point in your life. And I was like, yeah, I guess I don't really feel it. And then she asked me why I feel that way. And I said, well, one of my biggest fears is that this recovery that you're talking about is just an illusion. That one day I'm going to wake up, all the panic attacks are going to come back, and I'm going to go back in my shell and be back in my room for another year, and everything that I've worked so hard to overcome is just going to come right back to me. She gave me one of the that anyone has ever given me in life, which was to say, she was like, I can't tell you that you're never going to have panic attacks again. I can't tell you that you're never going to have depression, anxiety. I can't even tell you that you're never going to go back to the hospital, the psych ward. She said, I can't even tell you that. But what I can tell you is that nobody goes back to the exact same place twice. And the meaning of that is, like, the place that I was in when I initially went into the therapist's office and was like, these are all my symptoms that I'm experiencing. And she gave me information, she gave me resources, she gave me books that I read, she gave me a bunch of different tools for my toolkit, like my recovery toolkit. And she was like, so even if those things that you're talking about do come back, you're not going back to the same place. You're experiencing some of the same things, but you're going back with a knowledge of how to get out of those things. I was like, wow, that is a deep, extremely deep statement. Because if I fast forward from the time I sat in that therapist's office, probably about 11 years ago at this stage, and I think about how my life has been since then, I've still experienced panic attacks sometimes. I still experience going through periods of time when I'm very anxious, overly anxious, or times when I'm overly depressed and very lethargic. But I have never experienced it in the exact same way that I did during that original time. So, tying that back into what I said about fitness and restart versus reset, it's the same thing. I go through a fitness regimen where I'm really strict, where I'm eating right, where I'm exercising properly and regularly, and I get myself to a certain point where I'm at the peak of my physical existence. And then I fall off track, I start eating anything, I stop exercising, I stop running, I stop doing everything that I did to get me there. Even if I go back, let's say I was 210 pounds, and I go back and I'm 210 pounds again. Being at 210 pounds does not mean, and then starting back up into like another fitness cycle and nutrition and all that good stuff, it does not mean that I am restarting. It means that I am resetting. And some people get those things confused. Restarting is starting over at the very beginning. And sometimes, there's some cases where you do have to start over at the very beginning. Like your house gets washed away in a storm or something. Everything is just dismantled in that house, top to bottom. It's not at a place where you can restore it. And you have to sit there brick by brick, build that thing up from the bottom. Like that's a restart. A reset is that there's pieces in place that you can take and build upon with a conscious effort. And I think a lot of people think that everything is a restart, and that's the reason why they won't start. Get to these comments. Hi, Ed. What happened to what, Barrow? I'm not sure what you're asking. Did he mention orthotics? Yeah. He mentioned a lot of things. I have the orthotics on right now, and they don't help. I did all the doctor's recommendations because he gave me all the alternatives to therapy. He told me to rest it, no more running for X amount of time, which I did. I stopped running because of his alternatives that he gave me. I got the orthotics. I did physical therapy. I will say the pain was much less when I wasn't running. And I started running again. The pain came right back like it never left, which was extremely disheartening. So I have a couple of races that I'm going to be doing. I'm probably going to be doing several races, actually, maybe in the next 2 months. And then once I'm finished with those, I'm going to go back to the podiatrist and I'm going to find out what I need to do from there. But this wasn't really a point to talk about my foot. It was just really an example that I was giving. We should give class lectures. I mean, that is essentially what I'm actually going to be doing. Not lectures per se, but I'm going to be a group leader again, which is something I have not done since what year was that? I did it from 2013 to about 2016. 2016 I think was the last time. No, 2017. About 2013 to about 2017. Hold on one second. Yeah, I did that for about 4 years, so I guess this is a return to my roots in a sense. Because that was the first thing that I did in this field. It's not the first thing that I did ever, but it's the first thing that I did in the mental health field. So all these same things that I talk about on here is literally going to be the same type of thing that I'm going to be doing. Alright. I don't know why nobody got rid of this one, but bye. Okay. Hi, Goosey Games. My day is going great. How's yours? Yeah, he did recommend the cortisone. My job situation is why I have not gone to get those cortisone shots, because I would have got them at this point. But right now, high and dry with no insurance. So in March is when I'm going to be taking care of, hopefully, a lot of things that I've needed medically. That I have just been hoping and praying, like, I'm just not going to have anything catastrophic happen to me for 6 weeks, which is a terrible way to live, but it is how I've been living. A group leader for what? Groups about mental health recovery and rehabilitation. I don't mind shouting people out. However, if you've never said anything on this channel and your first thing to do is to shout yourself out, I'm not going to shout you out. No offense. That's just a rule of mine. Maybe other people are different. Good luck on the exam. Today is Survivor Day. Today is Survivor Premiere Day. So in about 4 hours, I'm going to be leaving to head over to Manhattan and to go see the Survivor premiere in person. Oh, shoot. I told y'all I'm going to be following Adam's trick. I finally remember his name. Adam. I can't remember his season. What did he say? Season 12 or 13? Whatever season it was, Rachel won that season. And he was, I think, in the top 3, if I'm not mistaken. 1 second again. Yeah, he was in the top 3, if I'm not mistaken. 13, yeah. So when he was at the Big Brother pop-up party that I went to last year, that Tucker was at, he had his headphones in, and he had his Paramount Plus app open with his subtitles. Because I'm telling you, premiere parties are basically just so that you can meet the cast. I mean, premiere watch parties are just so you can meet the cast, because you can't hear anything. They're in these loud, crowded bars, and everybody is talking throughout the show, so you can't hear a word. And then when something happens, or when they see somebody that they like, they start screaming, and you're like, shut up, bro. It's like going to a movie theater. You know when you go to a movie theater and people are just talking throughout the movie? That's what it feels like going to a premiere party. So at one point I said, I'm not going to any more of these stupid premiere parties, because then I missed the episode, and it's like a 2-hour episode, a 2-hour premiere. And so I'm like, I have to be here for X amount of hours and then go home and watch the whole premiere again. But once I kind of came to the conclusion, I'm coming to the premiere party for page content versus like I'm coming to this premiere party so that I can catch the episode. It became different for me. But I am going to do that Paramount Plus thing. I really am. I'm going to do that Paramount Plus thing. I'm going to charge up my portable battery charger, because I'm sure the Paramount Plus app would drain my battery. I had a big toe issue for years, and my PT customized an orthotic, and I'd have to just go get my doctor to put a shot. Did your general physician do that? It stopped, so maybe there's hope for me. Because this issue just popped up for me about last July. So it's been about, what is that? August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Sorry about that. Why did I just go to green screen? I must have pressed something. Anyways, it's been about 7 months. How do I take this off? There we go. It's been about 7 months that I have persistently had this issue, so I really want to get it taken care of, because this pain can be hard to live with. Yay for Survivor. I was telling Ed yesterday, or 2 days ago, they had an option. Oh no, that was not for Survivor. That was for the traders. Never mind. That's a great idea. Hi, Cass. You did almost miss this, because I'm only going to be on here for another... What time is it? 7 minutes or so. My podiatrist, there's hope. That's why I asked. Mine was from hiking so much. I guess it's similar for me. Not hiking, but it's definitely the fitness competitions that I do that aggravated it. Tonight when I go over to the thing, I'm going to try to get as much footage as I can, but you can't really hear anything. So let me tell all of you this in advance. Well, sometimes when I go into these watch party things, and then I'm like, let me show you what's in the building, and everyone's like, you're muted. I'm muted on purpose, because the DJ plays music, so the video is gonna go off. If I put the video on and walk into the building with all that music playing, YouTube is just gonna take down my whole video. That's happened before. So that's why you always see that my best content is when I'm standing outside. I'm sure Jag will be there. I kind of would be surprised if Jag was not there. Even though I haven't seen him on any flyer or anything, like Jag is everywhere. Well, he might not be there, but he's gonna be somewhere. Now I've seen that there's Survivor parties in Florida, California. Like, even though New York seems to be the main one that people go to. What's her name? Sue from last season. when I saw her briefly at this Survivor thing I went to this past Saturday, I was like, are you going to be there for the Survivor premiere party on Wednesday? And she was like, oh no, I'm going to be traveling. She says, I'm going to be traveling. And then I see this other flyer that she's on, that she's going to be at a Florida pop-up party, which I would say, Ed, you should go, but I know that that's probably not your thing, Ed. I know you said that's not your thing, so. But it is, I think it is in your area. You know what? I entered into the wrong parking lot. Shoot. I guess you'll have me on here for another couple minutes because I'm in the wrong parking lot. I'll see you in the Discord after. I'll tell you, between Big Brother parties, challenge parties, and Survivor parties, because those are the 3 that I've been to. I'll tell you the order of which ones I like. Yeah, bye. Sorry, but I know a troll when I see one. This person is just walking in the middle of the road. Okay, Survivor parties, challenge parties, and... Why are you in the middle of the road? Big Brother. I think that I like the Big Brother programs the most. I mean, the Big Brother events. Let me think about this, actually. Yeah, I do. So it's twofold, because I'm more excited about the challenge, the show, and I'm more excited about the challenge cast. But in terms of the way those events are organized, I really, really much prefer the way that the Big Brother events are organized. I have so much fun there, and there's so much more opportunity to talk to the cast than there is at a challenge event. The challenge event will have, let's say, like 4 or 5 challengers there, and then you stand in a big line to take pictures with them like it's Comic-Con or something. Whereas the Survivor and the Big Brother events are more like chill vibes, where the people from the shows just kind of walk around, and you get a chance throughout the night to run into them wherever they are. Maybe they're standing at the bar, maybe they're standing outside to get some fresh air. You know, you get plenty of chances, and you don't have to like jump up and mob them and grab them to be able to talk to them. So that's the reason why I prefer those over the challenge events. The reason I prefer the Big Brother events over the Survivor events is because I know more Big Brother cast than Survivor cast. I've seen more seasons of Big Brother than I've seen of Survivor. I haven't really gone back and watched Survivor seasons. Like, I've seen highlights of previous seasons, but I have never watched a Survivor season in its entirety, aside from the first one that I ever saw, which was, I believe, season 42, I want to say. What time is it? 12:15. It's funny how when you have things to do, it always seems like you just don't. Your time is just constantly on this hourglass, where it's always running out. Because that's how I feel right now. I now have 3 hours and change to get multiple different things done, and it seems like I'm probably going to have to skip the majority of those things. Because whatever I'm done by 3 is whatever I'm done. And then I'm going to just have to run back home, get myself ready really quick, and then hit the train. Because the thing I like about these events, the Survivor and the Big Brother events, they're always at the same venue. And the venue is like 2 minutes away from the train station. So then I don't have to worry about traffic and parking and all that amazing stuff that you have to worry about when you're driving to the city, and you have to pay like $30 an hour to put your car in a parking garage, or drive around and around looking for a spot. I think after 7 is when the parking is free, but good luck finding a spot. And that's it. That's all I got for now. So I hope that y'all enjoy the Survivor premiere. It's also Challenge Day for those of you who are Challenge fans like myself, but I'm going to have to catch the challenge on replay today. It is what it is. Thank y'all for joining me. And as always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Thank y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day.